All right, here we go. Another edition. We have a special guest. You might not quite be able to see. If she stands up, you will. But another great topic for you today. Dr. Dustin here with Erin Ruggieri. This is The Vital Wire. All right. So before we get started, in case there's a distraction that pops up on the screen, we have Chas in the building here with us. It's our new Belgian Malinois.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Maribeth and Wyatt Broadway. They are training us a dog. So this is her first time with us. She's literally sitting between my feet. I can't jump up and turn the camera down. But if she stands up, we might have her stand up here in a second. But she is with us today. This is also kind of in tune with the topic we have of things being put in front of you for a reason, trusting the process and the things that come about. So with that, I personally like this kind of speak.
Yeah.
Some of the clients and even some of the student athletes that I've started coaching personally, I just like, this is my come from. This is my natural come from, and really starting to realize what's around us, how we can utilize it, trusting the process, committing to that. And on the heels of our last couple weeks of topics, as we've opened up the conversation of resolution and there really is no resolve, but getting into that mindset. It's like, let's have a great 2024, but also how do we do that without creating more stress, and how do we now start to execute the mindset of that process? Right. Yeah. So I know we talk a lot about this. You and your coaching aspect can see a lot of this. And I've always said too, like, teacher learns the most. Yeah. Coach learns the most. And as we do this, even as we're talking, it's like, man, we start to figure out more things that we even take from here, and then we go say over there, just because of how we all vibe off each other here and what our intentions are. So it's kind of cool to have different dynamics of our lives come together, but also to be able to share them and empower people, whether you're a client here, whether you're in the community or you work with us with somebody else. It's all about the mental aspect and the having that commitment to do whatever it is you want to do, but realizing what's around you so that you can do it, and accepting the help you're given, accepting the challenges you're given, and the frame that you're in, because it's there for a reason.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that you said was trusting the process. Like, that was something that my coaches always told me, and then now it's like my philosophy that's kind of been filtered through me that I'm passing on. But it doesn't just go with like athletics, it also goes with life. Yeah. And like, it doesn't always have to be a happy-go-lucky, I'm trusting the process. Like, sometimes the process might look a little scarier, but like, that's okay, because it's for a reason that you maybe don't know yet. Right.
And trusting the process, I guess we'll just start with that bullet point. Trusting the process is not, all right, I'm going to do this and see if it works. Yeah. That's not trust. Yeah. It's kind of like faith. We are very much faith-based office, not afraid to say that, share that, be that. But it's like, it's kind of like, having faith. It's like, man, I'm going to do all of this because I hope that one day I end up in heaven at the gates. Right. It's like, that's not faith. Faith is the whole ass acceptance of this is the way it is, and living accordingly, or executing that plan, that process, and trusting that process wholeheartedly. So let's just get through very quickly what trust is not. Yeah. And it's not, let's see if this will work. Yeah. That means you might trust somebody who's putting that path in front of you. That's great. Yeah. You trust the person. But why are you just going to see if it works? Why do you have that mentality? And a lot of times I think there's a resistance point, or there's an overwhelm because you think you're too far gone, or it's too far to have to get to. And it's like, man, why did I let you start to get this self-guilt, self-doubt of, I shouldn't have never let it get this far. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of time. I want it to happen faster, and it's not going to happen as fast as I want. And you're already thinking that process. And then what comes out is, all right, let's see if this works. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part, though, also.
Yeah.
Trusting it.
Yep. Because there's a lot of things that are put in front of us, or a lot of things that we commit to. Yes. Trusting the process and commitment. There's a lot of things that we will commit to that end up falling and tailing off for one of two reasons. Either it's hard, you're not sure if it's working, or you just don't have the trust in that process or the person delivering it. So my biggest thing is making sure, how do you start this from the beginning, is making sure you find somebody you trust. Have you been loyal to somebody? Has somebody been loyal to you? Have you asked all the right questions? Have you found a resource that you trust? In the healthcare space, with what we do here, structural, neurological correction, and all the things we do here, we even last night, and not to turn it back to the athlete, because we've also had even Joe this morning, who was very, very skeptical, not an athlete anymore, but just general clientele, who is like, man, I want to do metabolic blood work next. After I'm done with SoftWave or wherever we transition, I want to start getting adjusted. He's found a place that he can trust, and we're very blessed to be that. But where he did have a little bit of trust issue at the beginning in the process, he committed. And sometimes it takes the commitment to build the trust. So let me stop and say that too, again, in case you missed it. Finding somebody you trust is probably number one. You don't have to trust their process yet. I get that. But you have to commit to what is put in front of you. If you're willing to commit to what's in front of you, you're going to build the trust around it. Because when it works, yes, it's going to validate the decision you made. So that whole thing of trust and commitment, but he committed to the process. Carson and his parents committed to the process, and what they saw yesterday and how elated they were. That's a good word. I never said
elated.
I was going to say excited, and it came out elated. How elated,
Scholarly.
excited, how over the moon, if you will, they were with the results structurally and the things that people were saying while he's on the field and what they're noticing about him. They committed to the process, and the trust was built along the way. So it's sometimes chicken and egg, but if you have somebody you can trust, you're in the right spot. Commit to what they put in front of you.
Yeah, I think that's something that is really easily kind of forgotten, is the amount of people who do trust you. Like, I know I just kind of take for granted, like, the day to day, like, I come in and, like, we see all these clients and, like, we have great experiences, and then I go to practice and, like, same thing, like, I love all my kids I've ever coached and anyone who's ever coached me, but then I, like, reflect on it, like, right now, and I'm like, that's a lot of people who trust me, and I also trust them. Like, trust is kind of a binding contract.
100%.
But it's also, like, easy to forget how big trust really is, because it does get thrown around in society and media as, like, I just trust like this, but also like, can you back it up with that trust?
Right, exactly. And it's like, trust this because Patrick Mahomes does. And it's like, that gives you a level of buy-in, and it gives you credibility.
Right.
It gives that thing that you want to commit to credibility, but it doesn't provide trust.
Right.
You're trying it out. I'm going to try this because he does it.
Yeah.
That's not trust. So now you've just thrown in commitment. Well, because he does that, I'm going to commit to doing it because I want the same result that they're displaying. So absolutely.
Yeah, and it's like also the kind of same thing as, like, leadership. Leadership's not just given, it's earned.
Yes.
Same thing, trust should be earned. Shouldn't just be given when you're meeting Joe Smo off the side of the street.
Yeah, absolutely. And leadership is also not a label.
Yeah.
It's not a title. It's an action. It's a being. It's an execution. It's a
way of life.
It is 100%. And so be willing to be led.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants to be a leader, but not in every aspect of your life are you going to be that point person, and that's okay. Know your role, know where you sit, but those people who are leading you, if you can develop trust with them, or if you can commit to the process and develop trust mutually, like you said, you're so right. It's like, if I knew you didn't trust me, like, we wouldn't be sitting here right now, and vice versa. So just whatever you do, find the resources that you can trust. Start there. And if you don't know who those people are, start asking. Like, shake hands with one person every day and reach out. DM people. Like, that's the way it works now. It's like, how many people have we DM'd, or, well, you have DM'd that have ended up on the podcast, that are now resources for dancers, that are now resources in structural correction, that are now resources in technology we use because we've built that relationship and trust. So as you go through this season, as we do set up for 2024, taking it back to the resolution mindset, you're not too far gone. Yes, it's going to be work. Commit to the process, build trust around it. But first of all, find the people that you need, that you can trust to do those things. When it comes to it, whole ass commit to the process, and you're going to be thankful later.
Yeah.
100%. As we start to, there's a level that's always going to be built with trust as well. It's a continuation. And as you start to do more and achieve more and goals are executed, as more line items are executed, trust is built. And we're even seeing that here in this office, in this relationship, and with what things we have going on. And this all came about because there's something that we're considering doing here with the practice that we've been back and forth. So I'm not going to release it yet. But how this topic even came about was last night when Sam said to me, she's like, he's not going to put anything on your plate that you can't handle. It's like, he's just telling you, like, why don't you just submit and commit? And I'm like, And then no sooner did I get home after my evening workout. I'm on this 2-a-day kick right now. I don't know why, but I am, and I'm loving it.
The athlete in you's coming
in. Yeah,
out.
I know. And now that I got 2 boys playing hockey, I can go off on a whole tangent with that. It's like I got to keep up.
Yeah.
But finally get the kids down and doing my evening scroll. My evening scroll consists of content. Let me just say that. It's learning things. And I love the TikTok. I'm not on TikTok a whole lot, but the reels and stuff. Yeah. And one popped up that was like, you want the end result, but you're not willing to commit to the process. Things the resources are being put in front of you. The people are being put in front of you, but you're so stressed out because you're just not willing to commit. And so if you're not going to commit, it's only going to become more stressful, and you're going to see more time go by, and you're going to get more frustrated with the continual false result that you never wanted to get in the first place, but that's just going to continue to grow. So if he's going to put in front of you the opportunity, the people, the resources, and everything that you wanted to begin with, then commit to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, stop complaining that you don't have what you want and need, and stop being so stressed out, because just make the decision to not do that and move on.
Yeah, I think the other part of that is the fear of failure too.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times what we talk about this a lot. Yes. We're like, we have all these ideas. We're like, well, full send. And then we're like, okay, well, what if it doesn't work? Okay. But like, that's the part that also is holding you back, because the worst thing that happens is like, yes, maybe you're out some money, your time, or something else, but then you've learned from that. You know what not to do again. And then you know how to guide other people, and maybe in a different space, same space as you, also to teach them what to do and maybe what not to do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's so many things that I self-reflect on, and you say, the fear of failure, and then there's also the fear of success. Yeah. It's like some people are like, man, if I do this and it succeeds, then what? Yeah. I mean, with the athlete urgent care that we're talking about with, and we're already building out, and it's like, well, what if we just do it? Yeah. And it's like, well, I'm going to need more people. And like with success comes more responsibility, not necessarily more money, more problems, but more success, more obstacles, more learning, more growing, more management, more people. And really the hardest thing in life is not the job or the task, it's the people. Again, going back to who can you trust and finding those people, but it takes more people to trust to do more, bigger, better things. But the fear of success and not committing to that process, there's all kinds of different resistance mechanisms that we have to talk about. Yeah. And we talk through these with our clients too. And there's people that we have not let start care in this office because it has been well, can I just try it for a month? And it's like, look, I don't want to waste your time or money. If you're just going to try it for 30 days, like I get it. Like I'm compassionate to why you would think that. Great. However, a lot of times, I don't care if you're 18 years old, we're taking a multi-year issue and trying to fix it in 30 days or trying to get you satisfied in 30 days. All you're creating is a distance mechanism to be okay with leaving at that 30-day mark. You've already checked out before you've ever started, and now you have an endpoint. Yeah. So we talk to a lot of our clients about what is the biggest resistance mechanism. Is it too far gone? Is it time? Is it money? Is it effort? Everybody says they don't have enough time. It's like, no, we do. Yeah. You just got to prioritize it. So, but at the same time, if you're not ready, you're not ready. Make that decision and stick with it and be okay with the result, because you can't be upset with the results you get for the lack of effort you put in. Simple. Yeah. So as we start to build this process with all of our clients and really within our community, we want to be that face you can trust, whether we are transactional with you here and you're a part of Battle Performance or Pure Athlete or whatever it might be. Like, we can still be a resource for you. We'd love to be a resource for you. And just because you don't pay us for a service doesn't mean you can't be like, hey, listen to the podcast, or hey, a friend knows you, or they come to care for you. I don't know if you're willing to answer this question, but I have one. Right. Do that. Right. Let's build the trust. Yeah, I think it all comes from like cause and I always look for cause and effect. I'm like, why is this happening? Yeah. What is the root cause of this? And I think the biggest thing you said, like, people want to try things for 30 days. They're like, if I can make it for a month, then it's fine. That's because like we buy things, you get a 30-day free back guarantee, but like your body's not like that. You don't just get to give it back and start over. Maybe like your next job's not like that. Like nothing is like that other than buying shoes.
Right.
And that's just the mindset that we've grown up with and have is like, I get to try things out and then give them back if I don't like them.
Yep. 100%. It's the analogy of, if your tires are out of alignment, do they wear faster or slower? Well, they wear faster. Well, what do you do when they wear out? You replace them.
Right.
Great. So if the structure of the spine, if you're subluxated and the structure of the spine is not proper, does it wear out faster or slower? Well, faster. So what do you do when it wears out? I can't replace it. Correct. So you can use the same analogy, but you have to be very futuristic. You have to have a vision of, okay, how does this actually work? And is it replaceable? And nobody wants to replace tires faster than they need to.
Right.
But if it's not replaceable, how are you going to take care of
Right.
it? Metabolic system, structure. It's all, you really have to evaluate what do you have and how do you want to take care of it? Commit to the process. And if there is a problem with it, it's like, man, say you've got your whole transmission shot, me and my car scenarios. Well, hello. It's like your whole transmission's shot, and it's like, well, can you just give me first gear?
Right.
No. One, it's going to cost me more to just take it apart, put it back together, and give you first gear. It's like, no, you have to commit to replacing the thing, or you have to commit to taking care of it before it fails.
Yeah, for sure.
And so no matter what the goal is, just commit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing on your plate that's bigger, so big that you can't handle. If you don't feel you can handle it, it's probably because you haven't committed to the process in front of you to either handle it, or you haven't committed to the process that created the problem. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing. I don't know how muddy the water is at this point, but just know, like, find people you can trust the process, commit to the process. She's committing to this chew toy down here right now. It's great. Chast down here. And this is one of the processes put together in front of us. Is she's going to be in the office with us, and she's basically my dog. She's going to follow me around, and then she's going to protect the motorhome when the kids are sleeping in it. But I have a commitment in this too. She's trained accordingly. She's still being trained accordingly. Now I have to commit to the training that's been done. I can't just veer off and do my own thing with her and be like, oh, now I'm going to call her a new name. No, we've already changed her name. We already know what her name is. Yeah. The commands, the sternness, all of the things that she needs, I'm going to commit to and whole ass it so we get the correct result. But this is also going to be very fun to have in the office as far as our clientele. Yeah. So it's just been something that's put in front of us that we've said yes to. Yeah. What's that movie, Yes Man? Yeah. Is that Jim Carrey, Yes Man? Now there's a time, no is a complete sentence. Timing, the timing of how things come along. We were coached timing and risk tolerance. And no being a complete sentence is okay. There's no justification needed. It's like, do you want a dog? No. Well, why? Because I said no. Yeah. Especially when they stink this bad. What is that? Wow. What are you doing? But
our co-host.
But something noisy. It's like, just stretching us into new heights and doing business with people and supporting dogs on duty in that as well, and Unique K9 with them. It's like, we said yes to that opportunity. Yeah. And sometimes
you just got to say yes, even though it might be a little scary at first. You just kind of got to lean in and trust it a little bit.
Oh, there she is. What are you doing? Are you supposed to be up? See, and this is where it's like I could do it my own way and just let her be, and like, oh, well, at least she's quiet. Yeah. Hey. Sit. Commit to the process. Sit.
You got it.
Good girl. So with that, that's the season of life that we're in, as well as we get ready for 2024. Our vision casting is tomorrow. Yeah. We're going to do a vision casting where all of these things that we haven't leaked out yet that are starting to come to fruition, there is a level of commitment that we're about to reach even tomorrow. Yeah. And a lot of things that we've done this year, I think we've been very good about a lot of things clearing house and focusing on what's important. And now this is just going to be the next level. So
Yeah.
we're in this with you guys as well. Erin and Erica being coaches, Sam as she's starting to lead our training program here as we're getting ready to hire more people, do bigger and better things. We are with you as far as committing and trusting the process. So with that, we're going to end this one now. Unless Erin has any more words of enlightenment for you. Super excited for this season. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next edition. See ya.